Polonetsky, Senator Schatz and I have some legislation on facial recognition, thinking that also is a significant data that uniquely recognizes people, obviously. I think we both agree that that information collected through facial recognition needs to be treated like all other personal data. Can you share your perspective on how Congress should define personally identified information, whether that should include facial recognition, and how we would treat that in a way similar or unlike other commercially collected data?
I'd argue that a bill should recognize that there are special categories, sensitive categories of information, and the typical default for collecting, using, sharing that information should be a strong consent-based model. There may be places where we can see opt-out or default, but certainly when it comes to sensitive data, biometric data, DNA, facial prints, fingerprints are clearly sensitive data and should be subject to a stronger consent-based standard.
Are there best practices out there yet?
We've done a fairly detailed set of best practices as we've seen these technologies in the market. What we try to do is differentiate between facial recognition, which I think we all know, recognizing my unique ID, creating a template, and then perhaps facial detection. How many heads are in this space? How many male or female heads? Certainly can see potential for discrimination if I treat people differently, but I don't have a unique identification. And so in our structure, we set up a tier. If a business just wants to know how many people are in the room, unique numbers of people, that might be a notice and a way to opt out. But if I'm going to identify you by your name, the default ought to be that I need your permission.